Alright, we're going to hunt this spot. I've hunted once this year. It's usually bucks in here. I have one good deer on camera. It's getting close to that time anything could show up, but we do have one that I've got on camera. I haven't been in here to find scrapes, fresh scrapes, anything like that. I try to stay out until the wind is right and just hunt it once in a while. And today the wind is pretty good, so we're going to slip in here and climb a tree. Acorns absolutely everywhere. There's a big rub over there. Big red oaks, big chinkapin oaks. We'll climb right up in here somewhere. This tree is the tree for me. Alright. Looks like a good tree. We'll see. Wind is always sketchy in here. It's hard to hunt this spot, even with a good wind. It swirls, for some reason it swirls real bad in here. But, fingers crossed. a bad move on my part. I should have waited. Well, y'all, I let the heat of the moment get the best of me, and he wasn't spooked or anything. I should have let him keep walking around this tree and give me a better shot, but he might be dead. The arrow's laying under me, and it looks like it broke off about that much, which means it could have gone in farther and broadhead's inside of him, so he was quartered too, as you can see. So shoulder angled back into lungs, hopefully. I'm gonna give it some time before I climb down. Got about 9 inches of penetration. A little bit of blood on the end, so the arrow was in a little farther. It's definitely one lung. I'm not sure if it got the other lung. Actually, I'm gonna leave this here. I'm gonna stick this here to mark where the trail starts, because I got a guy with a dog if I need it. But giving him 25 minutes, I'm gonna very quietly sneak over to where I heard him stop and see if he's dead or bedded. I'm gonna have my bow ready in case he's not dead yet, and I will update y'all when I find something. Oh, I smell him. I just saw him over here. I saw his white belly. That broadhead did its work. Oh yeah. Shoot, he had me nervous. Oh, he didn't make it. Geez, that's a big body deer. Shoot, yeah. Thank you, Lord. I thought I was gonna lose this one. Real pretty deer. Alright, so I got the shoulder here off that buck. I'm getting ready to take both shoulders and cut them up into pieces and run them through the grinder. I wanted to show you all where I hit that deer. When I'm butchering out a deer shoulder, I always start at this ridge because it's the easiest place to get down to the bone and separate everything out. Alright, I'm going to continue to trim meat off in just around the shoulder blade. The top of the shoulder blades that you can see when a deer is walking on the top of its back, it's actually a piece of cartilage. So here's our shoulder blade. This is the front of the deer. This is towards the back of the deer. So deer's facing this way. I'm almost above the deer, and I shot it right through the flat part of the scapula. So back in the day when I started bow hunting, I was shooting 100 grain thunderheads. Good old-fashioned 3-blade fixed broadhead. The blood trails were not always that great, but they were good broadheads. Several years back, someone turned me on to Swagger broadheads. I'm not sponsored by them. Nobody's paying me to say this, but I have really liked these so far. A few years ago, the heavy arrow craze got real big. Everyone was beefing up their setups, putting on heavy inserts, heavy broadheads, fixed blade broadheads, very heavy duty broadhead that can blow through shoulder bone, leg bone, anything. I kind of took the middle road with that. I put 75 grain inserts on my arrows, beefed up my spine, went from 400 up to 300 spine, so stiffer arrows, heavy insert, 125 grain mechanical instead of the original 100 grains. My thinking was, if I'm going to put some weight into my arrows, I might as well put that weight to work and shoot a good mechanical. So these go into the deer and they don't deploy till they're in the deer, so you get a small entry hole. As you can see in this shoulder blade, the entry hole is the size of these wing blades. The exit hole, 2¼ inch cut on this particular broadhead. This is a 269. I have blown through several does with these so far this year. It's first year shooting this particular model. On the does, it has performed extremely well. On the buck, obviously it's a thicker deer, more muscle, thicker hide, thicker shoulder blade. It did not pass through, but it went well into the lungs, and he broke the arrow off. And actually I pulled 2 pieces of arrow out of that deer. I kind of forgot the broadhead. It's still in the woods. I need to go back and get it, but it bent. One of the blades is bent real bad, the other one's fine. As long as the ferrule is straight. If the ferrule is bent, I throw it away. If the blades are bent, you can straighten them out. This one, as you can see, it's got scuff marks. This one's already been through a deer or 2. I lost count, but if you got a little extra weight, it helps, especially with the mechanical. These are, I weighed them at about 547 grains for the whole arrow. It was a poor shot selection on my part. I would not recommend shooting a deer straight down through the shoulder blades, but it did the job. That deer only ran about 60 yards. I didn't step it off, but he did not run far. He actually ran towards the truck, so it worked out perfectly. All right, I'm gonna finish cutting this up and run everything through the grinder. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. I know it's a shorter one, but sometimes it just happens like that. Deer are acting crazy right now. Not a whole lot of big bucks acting stupid yet, but the little ones running everywhere. Rut's about to heat up. We are about just a little less than 2 weeks out of peak breeding where I'm at, so stay tuned. There's gonna be a lot more to come.